There's a strange and silent moment that happens right before transformation. It's the point where life feels heaviest, where everything seems to fall apart. And yet, beneath that chaos, something ancient stirs. The Stoics understood this moment well. They knew that before the mind ascends to clarity, it must first be tested by confusion, pain, and solitude. Epictetus once said, "Difficulties are things that show what men are." What you face before your breakthrough isn't punishment. It's the universe revealing how close you are to becoming who you were meant to be. Sign 1. Everything starts falling apart, but you stop complaining. When you reach the edge of your breakthrough, life doesn't give you comfort. It strips you of everything that made you weak. The people who drained you disappear. The illusions you once clung to collapse. The plans you thought were perfect suddenly fail. To an ordinary man, this feels like loss. But to one who understands the rhythm of growth, it's transformation. This is the stage where you begin to outgrow the noise. You stop begging for peace from the world, and instead, you start cultivating it within yourself. Seneca wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." What feels like chaos is simply your old self being burned away, making room for discipline, awareness, and strength. The more you grow, the more life will demand proof. Proof that your calm is real, proof that your purpose is unshakable. You might lose friends, status, or security, but if you remain still, if you hold your ground without breaking, that's how you'll know you're close. The world shakes hardest right before it lets you through. Sign 2. You begin to lose interest in proving yourself. This is perhaps the most subtle and terrifying sign that you're standing at the doorway of a breakthrough, the loss of interest in proving your worth to anyone. It feels strange at first, even wrong. You no longer care to explain your plans, defend your silence, or prove your progress. You just observe. There's a deep shift inside you, from wanting to be understood to understanding that you don't need to be. This isn't arrogance, it's awakening. It's the realization that most people cannot see beyond their own fears, their own projections, and so you stop wasting your breath trying to convince them of your truth. You stop performing, you stop rushing, you stop chasing applause. You begin to see how much energy you once gave away just to maintain an image that wasn't even real. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." Those words hold the essence of this moment. You stop talking about change, and you start embodying it. You no longer feel the need to prove you're strong, because you've endured enough to know that you are. You no longer demand validation, because you've found peace in walking alone. When you reach this level of self-command, people will notice a change in you. Your presence becomes heavier, quieter, more deliberate. It unnerves those who still seek their worth in noise, but it attracts those who recognize inner power. You move slower, but with more precision. You speak less, but your words carry weight. You walk into a room, and without a single word, your energy speaks for you. This is what the Stoics referred to as apatheia. Not apathy, but freedom from passion's control. You still feel, but you're no longer enslaved by those feelings. You still care, but you no longer beg to be cared for. You become like a mountain, still, unmoved, yet full of quiet force beneath the surface. And that's when your breakthrough arrives, quietly, almost invisibly. It doesn't come with fireworks or celebration. It comes in the form of calm certainty, the deep knowing that you no longer need the world's permission to become who you were meant to be. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." That is the price of evolution, to let go of the world's gaze long enough to see yourself clearly. So when you reach this stage, when your silence grows louder than your words, and your peace feels more powerful than approval, understand this. You've already crossed the threshold. The breakthrough isn't coming. It's already here. Sign 3. Everything starts falling apart right before it comes together. When you are standing on the edge of transformation, life doesn't get easier. It gets brutally harder. Everything starts to collapse. People walk away. Opportunities vanish. The things you once relied on suddenly lose their stability. You feel as if the universe is turning against you, stripping away everything you've built. But in truth, this is not destruction. It is refinement. The Stoics understood this process deeply. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." What appears as chaos is actually the sculptor's chisel, cutting away everything that doesn't belong to the next version of you. It's the moment before dawn, where darkness feels endless, but light is quietly forming just beyond sight. You see, the final stage before a breakthrough is disorder. It's when life tests how much of the old you still remains. Your fears, your attachments, your doubts. It's the battlefield where your old identity dies and your new one is born. The Stoics called this inner transformation prohairesis, the ability to choose your own response, no matter the external conditions. It's in this fire that you discover whether your discipline was genuine or just performance. When things start to fall apart, the untrained mind panics. It grasps for control, clings to comfort, and curses fate. But the awakened mind, the mind forged through Stoic discipline, sees the collapse as sacred. It recognizes that nothing real can be destroyed. Only illusions burn, and what's left standing after the fire is what's true. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Every obstacle you face in this stage is not blocking your path. It is the path. The frustration, the loneliness, the uncertainty, these are not punishments. They are purification. The universe is testing your readiness to hold what you've been asking for. It's as if it whispers, "Show me that you can endure, even when everything disappears." This is why your world may feel like it's crumbling. Because it's not the world that's breaking, it's your former self. The version of you that needed validation, the one who depended on control, the one who feared judgment. All of that must fall before you can rise. So when everything seems to be working against you, when your strength feels depleted and your purpose begins to fade, that's the exact moment you are closest to your breakthrough. Because no man reaches a new level without being stripped of what no longer fits that level. The Stoic sage Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom is not found in calm seas, but in your ability to stay still during the storm. That's what this stage is teaching you, how to stay unmoved when the world shakes. So if your life feels like it's falling apart right now, if you feel the weight of everything collapsing, take a breath and remember, this is not your end. This is your cleansing. The universe doesn't destroy the unworthy, it refines the ready. And once you learn to stop resisting the storm, you begin to see it for what it really is. Not chaos, but construction. The breaking isn't punishment, it's the sound of your old limits shattering.
Sign 4. The silence around you grows louder, and you start listening to it. One of the most overlooked signs that you're standing at the edge of a breakthrough is silence. Not just the absence of noise, but a deep, unsettling quiet that begins to surround your life. Friends become distant. The excitement you once chased feels meaningless. The noise of distractions fades, and what's left is you, face to face with your own mind. Most people run from this silence because it feels like isolation. But a Stoic understands it as the sacred space where transformation begins. As Epictetus taught, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This means being content to walk alone, to detach from the chatter of the world long enough to hear your own inner voice again. The silence is not emptiness, it's alignment. It's the universe removing everything that competes for your attention so that you can finally listen to the truth. When life quiets down, your emotions grow louder. Doubt whispers, fear tempts, old wounds resurface. The silence becomes a mirror, forcing you to face what you've been avoiding. This is not cruelty, it's preparation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." The Stoics believed that the man who masters stillness becomes unshakable because his peace no longer depends on circumstances but on his inner governance. In this stage, your energy changes. You no longer chase attention or validation. You withdraw from it. You begin to crave solitude more than company, truth more than comfort, progress more than pleasure. You start to realize that noise was never power. Control is. The power to hold your emotions steady when others lose theirs, the power to listen when provoked, to observe when attacked, to understand when judged. This silence is not a punishment for your isolation, it is the reward for your growth. The more disciplined your mind becomes, the less stimulation it needs. You begin to see that most conversations are distractions, most opinions are irrelevant, and most conflicts are illusions. You stop explaining yourself, not because you have nothing to say, but because your peace speaks louder than your defense. Seneca once wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." A man who is always distracted never truly arrives in his own life. But when you allow silence to take root, you begin to arrive, fully, presently, powerfully. You see through the noise of the world and recognize that most people are simply avoiding themselves. You, on the other hand, have stopped running. This is the silence before the transformation. It's not comfortable, but it's necessary. Just as the seed must bury itself in darkness before it can rise, you too must embrace the quiet, the loneliness, the stillness, the uncertainty, for this is where your roots deepen. And then something shifts. What once felt empty begins to feel sacred. What once felt lonely becomes empowering. You start to understand what the Stoics meant by apatheia, the mastery over destructive emotions. You no longer need the world to confirm your worth. You feel it silently within. So if you find yourself surrounded by silence, if the world seems to have turned its back on you, don't fight it. Don't rush to fill the emptiness. Sit with it. Listen to it. Because that silence isn't the absence of life. It's life speaking in its purest form. It's the moment before everything changes. And when you emerge from it, you won't just be stronger, you'll be untouchable. Not because you conquered the world, but because you finally conquered yourself. When you reach this stage, don't fight the silence. Don't run from the discomfort. This is where your transformation hides. The Stoics knew that the moment you stop being ruled by emotion, the world stops ruling you. So when it all feels heavy, when the noise fades and only your breath remains, remember this: you are not breaking down, you are breaking through. Get exclusive content and deeper insights. Join our membership today. Link in the description. If this resonated with you, subscribe to the Stoic Verse for more wisdom to guide your journey.